Wednesday, April 15th. Look at this, a video 2 days in a row. Because I told you, what, yesterday, we covered Futurama yesterday, and how today, I might be, showing you some more Matt Groening stuff. And I don't even want to pick this up, my pile today, because it's so fucking huge. Like, I sat it down here on the corner, or on this, what's supposed to be my armrest kind of thing, and it like wanted to tip over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera with me, hopefully, and you can, oh my gosh, see it there in the background, my big ass pile that I have going there, hopefully. And I'm messing up my thing that I'm setting the camera on. So let me, I'm gonna take this pile in half here. And I don't even know what I'm gonna do with these. Hold on. Hello, Ref. You're helping, I'm sure. So our first pile today, and I feel like I can get through this quickly because it's, So here's pile number 1, or, the first half of the pile, and it is all the Simpsons, the complete Simpsons seasons that I own. So here we have Malwarebytes is 25% off, limited time only. That just popped up on my computer. I have season 1. I have season 2. I have, let me move my mouse. These are going to get tricky here. I have season 3, right? The third season. Season 3. I have, this one's, I am partial to blue, so I think this one's my favorite one, because it's all nice and blue and pretty and shiny. But that is Simpsons season 4. Oop, that one has a back to it. And I did complete 5th season. It's all nice and red there. This one is open for some reason. I don't know why this one's open. There must have been an episode on it I wanted to watch. Some kind of collector's edition. Were they all collector's editions? I don't know. But this is the complete 6th season, and as you can see, Homer's, it's not as shiny, but Homer's eye is in there. So, I don't know why I opened that one. This is the 7th season, and it's kind of blue. And you can see that this is kind of cut out for somebody's eye behind the camera. Or maybe Marge is just taking a picture of her eye. Maybe that's what that is there. The complete 8th season, and once again, what is that? Oh, that's supposed to be a picture. Did she cut out the picture? There you go. But that's the part that's cut out from that. And then this is the collector's edition, 9th season, with the 200th episode in it. I wonder if that's the one that has Jay Sherman. I wonder if one of these, maybe that's why I opened the 6th season. Was it the 6th season that I opened? Yeah, complete 6th season. Because there's one, Jay Sherman from The Critic. He was in there, he was in a Simpsons episode. And I don't know for sure which one this is, if it was season 1, but this is why, this is the argument for, because everybody's like, oh, just buy digital, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But, like, I know some places have been taking off the episode with Michael Jackson in it because of that documentary, Finding Neverland, I think. So, they're actually removing that. Some places, I don't know if every place is, I don't know, but they're actually removing that from, like, the digital thing, or whatever. So, like, or at least they were talking about doing it, maybe, and people were like, oh, blah, 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 but that's what, when you buy a DVD and it is printed with that episode on it, like, they can't come back, post-haste, or however you want to put it, they can't come back after the fact and take that episode away from you, like, it's there forever, I can't remember which season it is that has the Michael Jackson episode in it. It's one of the really early seasons, so I probably have it on one of these episodes or one of these DVD sets, since I have this whole pile, 9 seasons worth. And as you can probably tell, all the rest of them were still in their package, so I haven't watched any of them. But of course I have them. And The Simpsons, they're just this phenomenon that's, how many years have they been going on now? Like a ridiculous amount of time still going on. Of course I still enjoy their antics. I'm not as caught up with them as I am our next entry. But there they are. I have them, and I still enjoy them to this day. So it's not as much. But this is our second smaller pile that we will go through today, and I will dig down. I feel like this is not. I feel like this is not my full set of this TV series because I really enjoy Family Guy, and this is volume 6 here. I feel like I have more Family Guy seasons somewhere, or I did at one point. I would actually go through and watch the Family Guy episodes because they would put back in stuff that they might not be able to show on TV, but they would put it back into the episode for here on the DVD, and listening to I would like to listen to the commentary on every episode. Ooh, excuse me. I don't usually do that with most things, but I was always interested in the commentary for the Family Guy. Apparently, William Shatner told them to go fuck themselves. That's what, because I can't remember who I think Seth was in the room for that one. They're like, have you ever had a celebrity just blatantly tell you fuck you, I'm not doing your show, which I always thought would be a good episode with because one of the characters that they have is the mayor of the town is Adam West, it's Mayor Adam West, and Adam West actually did the voice for the character before he passed, obviously, and I just thought Adam West is such a crazy character, and I just thought I thought it would be great if William Shatner came to town and was fighting him for the mayorship of Quahog, just to have Adam West and William Shatner going back and forth. I think that would be amazing. I mean, is that out there somewhere? Did they do something together? Because they're just two crazy old dudes, or at least I guess one of them was. I think, and the irreverence, is that a good way of Family Guy has some random, somewhat offensive, crude humor can have, which I, like I said yesterday on something else, can't remember which show it was, I'm I appreciate the crude, the crude humor, and so maybe that, I think it was Mad TV, I was talking about how Mad TV was a little bit more, maybe a little bit more risque than Saturday Night Live at the time. So Family Guy for me, I'm much more interested in watching Family Guy, even though I do enjoy The Simpsons. But I definitely enjoy Family Guy more. And this is one of the shows that actually got canceled, and then it was so popular when they started releasing it on DVD, Fox decided to bring it back, and the rest has been history because it's been back on the air ever since. So. But I had more seasons of Family Guy. I don't know if I just sold them, if I got rid of them, because, I needed money at some point or something. But I still have Volume 6. Whatever, it says Volume 6. It doesn't say Season 6, so I don't really know what that is, what that means exactly. I also have the Partial Terms of Endearment, banned from TV. This is the Too Hot for TV episode. I believe it was, it dealt with the Lois becoming pregnant, and they talked about abortion in this episode. A poignant tale of what happens when Lois agrees against Peter's wishes to become a surrogate mother for an infertile couple. You'll laugh, you'll cry, it's your choice. So, but apparently this was too hot for TV. and they put it on DVD, and here it is. I have that one. I also have, what is this? Stewie Griffin, The Untold Story. It's got a nice little slip cover to it. Of course, you know me and my slip covers. Love it. Maybe this was the... I can't remember for sure what this... In this exclusive DVD premiere, Stewie, the maniacal baby genius, is distracted from his plans for world domination when he sees a man who looks just like him on television. Convinced that this man must be his real father, after all, how could he possibly share genetic material with the dim-witted Peter? Stewie sets off on a cross-country road trip to find him, but his incredible journey leads him to discoveries far more vile and shocking than anything found in his diaper. I don't remember this episode. I don't really remember the band from TV episode either. So, I don't know. They must not have been the best entries. The Freakin' Sweet Collection. I also have that. Get ready for 5 deliciously absurd chapters in the lives of America's most twisted animated family. These are the hand-picked, hands-down favorite episodes of Seth MacFarlane, the delightfully demented genius behind Family Guy. He'll also treat you to an inside look at the long-awaited return of the series, as well as his newest TV brainchild, American Dad. What a guy, what a Family Guy treat. So, this is some of... This was something that came out before... before the show came back. Because, of course, they announced that they were bringing the show back, and then because it's an animated show, you can't just, get your actors together and film everything. Like, you got your voice actors, but then, like, the animators have to animate everything. So it was a really long wait between when they announced that the show was coming back and when it actually was back. But we've had it ever since now. And in case you're curious, here in the DVD, the Freakin' Sweet Collection includes When You Wish Upon a Weinstein, Road to Rhode Island, To Love and Die in Dixie, which they actually called back to when the show came back, which I thought was funny after many, many years. I Am Peter, Hear Me Roar, Lethal Weapons. So that's the episodes that are in this Freakin' Sweet Collection. So just to whet your appetite before the show itself came back. This is not mine, Flight of the Conchords. Somebody I worked with many, many years ago, and I need to, I swear I will get this back to you someday. If you ever come back for a visit, because they moved to Florida, I still have this. If you want it back, she was like, "Oh no, it's no big deal, whatever, blah blah blah." I still have this. I still know it belongs to you. I can still get it back to you one of these days. But they were like, "Oh, this is a show you might enjoy, so you should check it out." And so she let me borrow this, and I've had it ever since. That was a mistake. I tell people, if you never want your shit back, let me borrow it. It's just you moved to Florida, so I was even like, I still have this. And you didn't, it was, maybe there was like a ransom note in here. Was there something that I was supposed to pick up on? I don't know. No. I don't know. So I've never actually watched this show. So it's not really part of my collection. I've never checked it out. I don't know. Meet Jermaine Clement and Brett McKenzie, aka Flight of the Conchords. I know it has something to do with obviously a band. They have instruments with them. They may be New Zealand's 4th most popular folk parody duo, but now they're in a strange new world, New York City, and determined to conquer America one fan at a time, literally. This 2-disc set features all 12 episodes of the acclaimed HBO series. Watch as our heroes contend with unrequited love, bohemian parties, inept criminals, and their single-obsessed fan, breaking into song as they clumsily attempt to break into the New York scene. Oh, there for a minute I was like, is this like the full series? Was there only one season? I don't know. So I've never seen this. I don't know. But I wouldn't necessarily count it as part of my collection. It's just kind of one of those things like, well, there it is. Here it is. I have it. It's there. Now, something I definitely do have is Whose Line Is It Anyway? We have Uncensored. I guess I watched some of these because this one's open, but I have season 1, volume 1, and then season 1, volume 2. I don't actually know how many seasons or how many volumes there are, but if you don't know what Whose Line Is It Anyway it's a show, that's for sure. It's a comedy show. It's a funny show. It's an improv show. There we go. The word finally came to me. I'm improving somewhat as I go along because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And so that they improv comedy. Basically, they just get up and they make people laugh, and they're really, really good at it. So, Whose Line Is It Anyway? A lot of fun, and this one is uncensored because, of course, sometimes things get a little risque on the show. Probably more so than we even know, since I feel like it's been allowed to be a little bit more risque since it's moved to the CW. It is still on the CW. It still has basically the same cast. I mean, it does. Greg Proops is on. Of course, you have your staples: Ryan Stiles, Wayne Brady, and Colin Mockery. Drew Carey doesn't host the show anymore. It's Aisha Tyler, but sometimes she actually gets in on it. Like at the end of every of these episodes, Drew would do something with them, but every once in a while, like Scenes from a Hat or whatever, if Aisha Tyler has a good idea, she pops out there and makes a joke right along with them. So, but yeah, they have the returning, everyone's still the same on the CW. So if you've seen every episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway, there's still yet more to see because it's on the CW. So, and it's always a good time with these guys. One of our last two entries is a show that I don't remember very well exactly, but I know I enjoyed it. It was science fiction-y, science funny kind of action, western kind of thing. You might be thinking I'm talking about Firefly. Did I do that one already? Did I show off Firefly? Because I have that. I don't remember if I did that one or not. But no, I am talking about Adventures of Brisco County Jr. with Mr. Guy Ash. What the fuck is his name? Jesus Christ. This is Bruce Campbell. Thank you. I had to look it up on the back. Yeah, Bruce Campbell starred as a cowboy, Brisco County Jr. This was his sidekick right here. I always thought that guy would make an awesome Bishop. They've put Bishop in the X-Men movies ever since, but he was my pick. He even has the hair for Bishop, and he was a badass like Bishop is. I really thought he would make such a good Bishop in the X-Men movies, but oh well. I'm saying I don't really remember. I remember there was some kind of overarching story with something. It's been so long since I've seen this episode, or since I've seen any of this series. I didn't see all of it. I don't feel like I saw much of it. But this is the complete series of it. I bought it at Hastings, Rip Hastings, for $20. I remember in some episode there was this ball, this metal ball that, with spikes all over it or something that was shooting electricity or something. Let me just read the back so that you know what I'm talking about, and maybe I'll figure out what I'm talking about. Smile when you watch this, partner. The world's favorite Western sci-fi comedy action cult hit rides again. Here on 8 discs is the complete series about Brisco, Bruce Campbell, a tough as rawhide cowpoke, debonair ladies' man, and Harvard-educated smarty britches who roams from Frisco to Jalisco in pursuit of outlaws who killed his father. Jalisco. That's probably Jalisco, not Jalisco. I don't know. If you've never seen it, you might not know either. But we can guess that I fucked that up, because I did. And in search of a mysterious orb possessing out-of-this-world powers. That must be the one that I'm talking about. Hot lead and cool anachronisms await Brisco as he and his sidekicks, including Comet, the intellectual engine, who doesn't know he's a horse, fight for justice in the way, way, way out west. Put your boots in your stirrups, your tongue in cheek, and join the fun. Let's play Cowboys and Aliens. So apparently it's Cowboys and Aliens. I didn't get to see as much of the show as I wanted to, but I enjoyed it. It's kind of like, with Evil Dead and him. Like, I guess it kind of put that, it kind of put that horror comedy spin. Like, he took a Western and he put a horror, not horror, but, sci-fi comedy spin to the Western genre. And I remember the show being very enjoyable, very fun, and like I said, there was some sci-fi kind of action kind of stuff in it as well. So this was just one of those shows, and as you can see, I haven't rewatched it, but I definitely need to reintroduce myself to the show, or at least actually, watch it, since I don't remember about as much about it as I wish I did. Let me put it that way, because this show, at least the little bit of it that I saw, was so good, so enjoyable, and I need to enjoy the rest of it someday. Now, I did see quite a bit of this last entry into our thing for today, into our video for today, and it started out as one thing and kind of ended as another, but that's okay. And that show is Sliders. You see, you got Jerry O'Connell in there, and what's his name? Gimli from John Rhys Davies, or whatever you call him. Yeah, John Rhys Davies. Hey, good for me. There's another actor that has a very similar name to his, and I always get them confused. I always think I'm saying the wrong name. Was it the guy from the Tudors or something? The Tudors, however you say that. Whatever that guy. I think that's the show that I'm thinking of. But anyway, what Sliders was Jerry O'Connell here played. Was he? No, he was Quinn. Wade was her. She was Wade. He's a scientist, and he creates this wormhole that ends up accidentally sucking him. And is Arturo his college professor? Maybe. But it ends up sucking them into this void, and poor Rembrandt right here, bystander Rembrandt. He just happened to be driving down the road in his fancy Cadillac, and gets sucked into this thing as he was driving by. But it takes them to parallel universes. It's like the same Earth. And you can be the same person. I mean, obviously, you on this alternate universe, because there was some kind of rule, I think, about they weren't supposed to interfere, they weren't supposed to meet their other selves or something like that. But of course, I'm sure they probably did once or twice, more than once or twice. Actually, I do know, because there's some stuff later on that I feel I need to do some fanficking about, but that's fine. So what it would take them to these alternate places, what if someone else won the Civil War, or what if I think there's one episode, because Rembrandt is a singer, and in one of the universes they go to, he actually his career took off, and he has all these things. There's a planet that they go to, I think, where the men are the ones that give birth, I think, maybe, or I think there's one where most of the men have died off. That might be the same Earth. I can't remember. So it was one of those things where it took our universe and turned it on its head, and then turned it on its head again. Of course they start running out of steam at some point, and I feel like there's some producer that wanted, because they start introducing aliens into the mix, and that wasn't a very popular move, because it's kind of one of those things where it's they were trying to turn it into a little bit too, I guess, like we enjoyed the show for what it was. You know, it was just kind of like taking something and seeing like what would the world be like if this had happened instead, basically, you know, alternate universes kind of thing. And then like they started, you know, introducing these, you know, these aliens that were like coming through the wormhole with them, kind of trying to make it a little bit more like action packed, I guess, instead of just, you know, having a clever, interesting idea. Like, let's make it less boring, I guess, is kind of what some producer must have thought somewhere. I don't know. But, so, but, it's definitely, I mean, I haven't seen all of it. I know, because it started on Fox, and it ended on Sci-Fi before it was done. And there's 5 seasons. I want to say there's 5 seasons of it. I did not see the later seasons. And there again, I don't know that I necessarily saw much of the earlier seasons either. This is seasons 1 and seasons 2. Well, this is seasons 1 and 2. This is the first and second season. This is the first and second season. So then this is the 3rd season right here. Blap, 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 blap. So it's a very interesting idea that they do here with this. These might have been the only seasons that were on Fox. I can't remember. But the 3rd season must be, I think some things like changed behind the scenes, and that changed some things like on the show, and yeah, things just, not that the show was any less interesting, mind you. That might have been when they started, somebody was like, well, what if they're being chased by aliens the entire time, you know, that want to kill them, you know? I don't know. I don't know who thought what. But, you know. But it's definitely, so at least the first 3 seasons are pretty good, and stick to the idea, I think. Stick to the idea fairly closely. And there again, I don't really remember very much exactly, but I definitely know it was an interesting idea, you know, an interesting playground for them to take these characters on this journey through. And the timer, because they have this little timer. I don't know if you can see it in here. No, I guess not. Oh, well, here. He's holding it in this picture. It would give them, like, they were on each planet only for a certain amount of time. And, you know, they had to be, so, you know, there was kind of like a time crunch, so that sometimes that, I guess that's where, like, the suspense came from, or the tension or whatever. It's like, oh, you know, because, of course, sometimes they'd lose the tracker, you know, it would get taken away if they were, like, thrown in jail or something, so they'd have to get it back. Because if they didn't slide to the next world, they'd be stuck in the one that they were in. So, and then, you know, they'd never get back home, basically. So kind of quantum leapy, I guess, in some ways. But, you know, oh, and look at quantum leap is in here. So, there was, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, that added a little extra drama sometimes into the mix of, you know, all the different other things that they would do. So, you know, I would say go ahead and check it out. Like I said, I haven't seen the last couple seasons. I don't know how much Sci-Fi might have fucked with it once they got control of it. But definitely the seasons on Fox were pretty good. So, and I'm sure the last couple seasons probably, you know, out of, you know, kind of like I say when I was doing my comedy movie videos, like some of those spoof movies, how, you know, at least, you know, they have a joke or two that'll land here or there. You know, I guess, you know, even in the later seasons of Sliders, they might have had an episode or two that might have landed. I don't know. But anyway, it's definitely an interesting idea and a fun little playground, little sci-fi show for you. And that is all that I have today. But yes, since I did Futurama yesterday, I wanted to go ahead and do the Simpsons one today. So. And then I did, and a lot of other things. Boop, boop. I'm almost out of my shelf, so I guess I'll be moving into whatever's down there. If I have anything down there. I guess we'll find out pretty soon, won't we? But anyway, that's what we have for today. I don't know that I have any more Matt Groening shows. Groening? The Simpsons guy. I don't know that I have any more, because I don't think I ever bought any American Dad on DVD. Did they ever put American Dad on DVD? I'm sure they did. I'm sure they probably did at some point. Anyway, but that is all for today, and I will see you for what I see you.